Hello everyone, welcome back to A Bit Tactical, where today I'm doing another Kill Team battle report, this time with the Plague Marines versus the Phobos Strike Team once again, hopefully to avenge myself. The Plague Marines were coming in with the Champion, the Bombardier, the Marine Fighter, the Icon Bearer, the Plague Caster, and the Warrior. He also brought Plague Rounds, Plague Vents, Plague Grenades, and the poison vents equipment. I brought a Incursor Marksman, the Infiltrator Veteran, the Infiltrator Commsman, Infiltrator Voxbreaker, the Saboteur, and a Reaver Sergeant. I also had the additional utility grenades, special ammunition, 2 light barricades, and purity seals. This is the map layout that we went with. And the critical op was loot. We then roll for initiative, from which I win and I give it to him. He's deploying on the top side of the board, and that's it looks like this. And listen, I don't think we ever played long ways before, because I realized we didn't use any of the space. Usually we just set up right on the edge because it's only 3 inches, but this is his side. This is my side of the board. For the scouting options, I chose strategy ploy and did deadly shots. He chose the reposition, did a free dash, and for a strategy ploy, he put cloud of flies on a vantage point, the one on the left side. So let's just get right into it. He starts off by just moving this guy up into nice cover. Now, thankfully, it didn't actually end up in anything crazy. However, I did do an illegal move here. Okay, I will admit this. I did an illegal move. Especially because I just read up rules over and over and over again. Just because it's a free action within the activation doesn't mean that you get to do an action twice. So what I did up here is I moved up with 7 inches, I believe. I did a dash. And then I had to use a dash to get there, right? And then I placed a mine, and then I used a free dash to get over to the cover. I don't actually think you're allowed to do this. And by don't actually, you're not allowed to do this. You cannot repeat the same action. I do believe that I did use a dash. I can't remember specifically, but I'm pretty sure I did. But just so you guys know, this is illegal. You're not supposed to do this, okay? I messed up big. He then decides to move this guy up right over here to, well, not here actually. He goes to the, he just wanted to be cinematic about that move. But he moved him right up there. And I just move, my Reaver Sergeant up, just trying to stall for time, basically, you know what I mean? Trying to get him to waste his activations as much as I can. He's still being caged and not really doing what I want him to do. Moving guys on the other side of the board that I don't want him to move. But that's what he's doing. Again, just wasting time. I move and dash my Commsman over here, just in the center of the board. As a sneaky little boy, he moves his guy in here, right here. And I know it looks like we meant for this to be an inside, even though it's over the edge, but we meant for it to be able to go inside. I activate my marksman, do track target on him, and drop a smoke grenade. He then moves up here, takes a shot at my Saboteur, and gets a crit and a hit for his roll. Instead of retaining 2, I retain 1 as a critical save, and then roll another critical save, so nothing. He does a second shooting attack, which, oof, big woof. Doesn't change anything. I, again, retain a crit save and get another normal save, blocking 2 of his hits, and him dealing 4 damage to me on my Saboteur. Cringe, I had line of sight with him with my Incursor Marksman, so then I rolled out a big attack. Had balanced on it, so I was able to. I had balanced, and I was like, let me try to get a crit. Let me try to get another crit. Didn't do it though. I rolled a 1, so I rolled less. He rolled 2 saves. Decides to block a crit instead of changing anything at all. And then he rolls for his faction rule. Disgustingly resilient, or maybe sickeningly resilient. I don't know which one it is. Come on, roll it. Jesus, roll it. And he only does 1. I didn't film it, but I did activate, move my Vox Breaker up to within that vantage point, and then use the Auspic scan, which made that guy on top within 8 inches. He moved this guy over here. I then very quickly activated my Veteran, took a shot at him. He retains 1, because, you know, he's up there. And then oh my god. This is crazy. All right, I get a nasty roll, an absolutely nasty roll. He rolls 2 saves. You know, I got 2 crits, 2 hits, 2 crits go through. He once again does his disgustingly resilient. Cringe, but he gets 1, so that reduces it down to 7 damage, but still pretty good. I then shoot him a second time, because why wouldn't I? Get a crit, use balanced from deadly shots to make it 3 hits and a crit. He then retains 1 save, and he doesn't even have to roll sickeningly resilient because it just kills him anyway. So at the end of the turning point, I have killed one of his models. He's basically just moved up the board. He's got this guy down here that's in a really scary position, and I'm in a very defensive, cagey position. So because I gave him initiative last turning point, I went on ties. We tied here, so I took the initiative. I used the Omni Scrambler ability on the guy that was hiding underneath the vantage point. Boom, and then I subtracted me. I just dashed this guy out just a little bit just to get it, and then cap the point, retreat him back across this dude. And then I have a high IQ play. I move my Vox Breaker up because he's already done what he had to do, right? I plant a beacon on the enemy side, and then I just take a shooting attack at him because I'm like, he's already going to get charged. I might as well get the maximum use. I get a nice roll, you know, then he rails. His defense side gets 2 very good saves, still doing, you know, 6 damage, so good. So the fighter dude, he has like this flail ability, right? So he was gonna use the flail and then charge me, right? But then he was like, "Oh, I'm actually, why do that? I'm gonna charge flail." I think because he was gonna do something else, so he didn't want to use that AP. But instead, what he did was he just charged me instead of using the flail, right? And this was a big mistake. I think he forgot he had 6 health left, so he charges me and not doing damage with the flail. And then, yeah, he charges me. We roll for our attack dice. And, you know, he gets his ridiculous stuff. I mean, I get a decent roll, right? He gets his 5 attacks. But here's the thing. He now realizes he's dead. Like, yeah, he did get a really good roll or whatever. And that's fine and that's cool. But the fact that he only has 6 health, and I still have a 3-4 damage, he can't do enough damage to kill me before I kill him, which is just kind of insane, actually, when you think about it. It's like actually so unfortunate for him that happened, because he just tries to live, right? So he blocks me, right? Because he realizes that he's gonna die here. So, and he ends up doing even less damage now. Super, super unfortunate on his part. You know, you can just see it being played out here. You know, I do a little bit of damage, but that doesn't really matter because he has 3 health at this point. We roll again. He hits me, but again, it doesn't matter. He just kind of dies immediately because he can't even block out my crit. So he just dies. Which is just, damn, bro. What a lucky play on my part that my Vox Breaker still stays alive with 2 health. Ugh. So then he moves his malignant guy over here to the backline, still safe, and I just move my Reaver back. Again, just for safety. I'm trying to play defensively now. The Omni Scrambler finally wears off, so he moves him up within the 2-inch range so that my smoke no longer means anything. I'm not obscured. I'm not in cover. He shoots with his plasma pistol, gets 2 crits in a hit. Doesn't do lethal 5, thank God. Doesn't do hot, right? And I get 2 normal saves. I use a Firefight Boy to upgrade 1 So I block 2 hits, leaving me with 7 health still. And then I just quickly shoot him right back, right? No reason not to. Especially since it's just such a prime position for me. I get a decent roll. I do have deadly shot still, so I'm able to re-roll this into all normal hits. Nothing crazy, nothing like I would want. He rolls, he gets 2 normal saves, blocks it. He also does sickeningly resilient. Again, I think he actually reduces each of those to 2, which means only 4 goes through, right? I then shoot him again. Once again, I get 2 crit saves or 2 crit hits and 2 normal hits. He rolls again. He only gets 1 though. He has to use a reroll to do that though. Again, he has to do his resilient stuff again, leaving him with a whopping 1 HP at the end of the turning point. I was at 6 VP, he was at 4 VP. At the next turning point, we both go. I roll a 1. I use my reroll that I get from my sergeant just to try to, it's always good to get it. Don't get it though, doesn't matter. I use deadly shots and they shall know no fear, so even though I'm injured, I can, still do stuff. And yeah, used my 2 CP on it. I did get a CP from the commsman, so it kind of didn't feel as weighty, but I was already so worried about what he was going to do here. For his first turning point, he moves up, this guy was already up here, right? He used the strategy point contagion on him for free because it was the icon bearer. He then charges my commsman. I actually did have him move it later so that he could get the shot on the saboteur without obscurement. We roll our attack die, but it's the Voxbreaker, 3-4, whatever. I roll pretty bad. I already had a feeling he was just going to die, so I didn't really want to use any CP to change this up or do anything different. So I just kept it as it was. I got 2 hits through, and then he obviously rolls his 5 dice, and he, hits on all but 1. I don't even think it matters at that point, because he just outright kills me here. He rolls his disgustingly resilient, doesn't get anything, and then he shoots my saboteur and gets a really, really good roll, 2 crits and a hit. I just get a crit save. So he just did really good that round against me. So good, in fact, that I was like, you know what? I just need him to not die. Okay, so let me do 1 reroll. Let me use one of my last 2 CPs to do a reroll here, and it doesn't work. I still lose the mono, and I wasted a CP. Feels good, especially to just reroll it into the exact same roll that I got before. Crazy. I then go with my Voxbreaker because he's basically already dead. He's at 2 health, right? So I take a shot at his leader, his champion. I get 4 hits, which means it's possible for him to live at this point. So I just straight up kill him. After that, though, I dash forward to the objective, do a quick little tap on that one, and then try to get a little bit of obscurement potentially, right? He moves his guys up, taps it, dashes into cover. Then with my Incursive Marksman, I take a shot at him. Seems like a pretty obvious. I get a deadly, deadly roll. I wish I had rolled it. Okay, I'm going to get accusations that it's fake. That it was fake, okay? But he'll be in the comments, okay, calling me out if it were fake. So yeah, I obviously killed him, right? The guy had like less than half of his health remaining. But his Malignant goes, kills my Voxbreaker. We didn't even have to roll for that. I think I then just move everybody up. My Sergeant over here on the right, my Veteran in the center. Basically, I wanted to make sure to secure the victory and make sure that no matter what, I kind of just won based on the fact that I'll have more points. Like my Reaver over here, my Reaver Sergeant, he planted beacons just to give me a little bit more on the tac op. We roll for initiative, and I lose. Not good. I use the Omni Scrambler on his Bombardier right there. 1 CP on deadly shots, so I can get those rerolls. And yeah, that's as one-sided as it seemed. It was actually a very close game. He brings up his Malignant. He also realizes how things are now, and he's just kind of going for, I think, the kill order at this point, because I think that's what he chose. So, oh, God. He shoots my veteran, which is just, I mean, it's expected, right? He's out in the open. He shoots him, and he gets a really decent roll, a really good roll. And I get kind of just, a decent save. 1, 2, 3. Just kidding, it was just 2. So my veteran stays alive because I used my last CP to make it into a critical save, blocking 2 damage, making sure that, he stays alive, nothing too crazy happens. I can double charge with my Reaver, and I used lethal assaults, not deadly, because I didn't think I was going to do much shooting, because I wanted to do this. So I get the reroll, I get lethal 5s, which obviously this makes it a 4 crits. It's just insane. But here's his rolling attack, and I'm making it so dramatic because this is essentially the end. Yeah, I get my 2 little sneaky attacks in. Immediately do that damage. That's 10 damage through. He then does his crit, and then I do my stuff. He rolls for Singularly Resilient to see if he can stay alive, just for a little bit more, just to do a little bit more damage to me before I die, or before he dies, but it doesn't matter. He ends up dying. And then, of course, I fight, what's his name? This guy, whatever his name is. The Malignant. I believe that's what it is. This one, I kind of don't care if I survived or died or did really well, or didn't matter to me. What mattered was that I just did a little bit of damage, and kind of kept him tied up. And it did. He didn't kill me, and I got to live. And that's how the game ended, because he could no longer do anything, right? If he fought me, he would just die. So he conceded the match at that point. It was the 4th turning point, or the 3rd. I think it was the 4th turning point. And it's just, I rolled really well, and he made that critical mistake, I think, with the Vox Breaker, getting one of his models just absolutely killed, for no reason. Yeah. It was a really fun match. Omni Scrambler, I think, was kind of the MVP there. Just making sure that, especially against an elite team, just one model not being able to do anything for 3 or 4 activations. I had 4 infiltrators on the map at one point, so it's really frustrating for him. But other than that, it was a really fun match. I think the score ended up being actually way closer than you would have imagined, right? Because he was scoring points. He was doing his tac ops. He had the primary op, or he did the kill op, and that was his primary as well. So I think the score ended up being like 11-9. I didn't actually write down what it was because I'm an idiot. And I don't remember it exactly, but it was way closer score than you would have thought it would be, based on how maybe you saw the match play out, or at least how I felt the match was playing out, which I felt like I was in. I felt like I was kind of dominating it the whole time. But yeah, that's the end of this Killteam battle report. I need to do better at filming things. I think next time when I film, I'm going to try to have a stand by then and just keep the phone on, record throughout the entire thing, or just record more. Just record more, but have like a stand, maybe just taking pictures or something. I don't know. I think that's what I'm gonna do instead. I'm gonna basically copy Glass Half Dead. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy Glass Half Dead's format, and hopefully these will be better for you guys. Anyways, that's the end of this Kill Team Battle Report. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff. I'll see you guys later.